Hey everybody, how we doing out there today? Vinny Cuz here, and we're going to talk about some Uber earnings and a couple of stocks, Uber, Lyft, DoorDash, so that you guys can see where they're at, and maybe it's relating to us out here in the real world, maybe it's not. But before we get started, I would appreciate if you would hit the subscribe button if you're new. The like button helps us out, and comment. I want to hear what's going on out there. We're up to 343 subscribers, and so let's get started. Also, you'll notice I'm giving you a secondary view with a different camera as well, so you can see what I'm looking at. It's more for my benefit than your benefit as I grow the channel, get into all this technology. I'm really enjoying it. All right, so let's get started. First, as we always do, we'll look at my ratings. Not that ratings matter to people, but it matters to me. Unchanged, 496.5. 3.4. Still got that 1-2 star hanging over my head. Acceptance rating, acceptance percentage. Now, I've noticed this. On my Android phone, something's not right, and I've updated, uninstalled, reinstalled. I'm having problems here. It's doing the same thing on the cancellation rate, which you can see is still at 4%. But because I run Uber on my Apple phone, and that's the phone I'm using for this secondary picture video feed, my Apple phone's not having the problems. I don't know if it's an Android Apple deal. I don't know if it's a 5G, 4G deal. But right now I'm running on Wi-Fi in home, which is 1 gig, and the Wi-Fi is separate. Should not be an issue. Anyway, let's get into earnings. That's this week so far, but let's go back to last week. Last week, as you can see, 200 bucks, just about even, right? 11 trips, 8 hours though, and this was Saturday night. Nothing really big stood out. Didn't get any really big rides. Premier there. Couple XLs in there. Most of them were XLs, although I did, we got two premieres, I think. This one canceled. That one wasn't a bad deal. Point being is that I only worked the one night. There were no events. Panthers out of town. Heat was out of town. No concerts going anywhere, so just worked the Saturday night. All right, this week so far, it's a little disturbing, but I'm trying to figure out when the best time to work is for my own personal benefit. Maybe it helps you. Tuesday, I went out in the morning, spent 6 hours total online. I went out in the morning, I got one ride in the morning. Where's it at? It was a Premier ride. You can see it was at 7 o'clock. But take note, I went out at 5 a.m. Did not get a request on XL, on Uber, Uber XL, Uber Premier, but I also had the Lyft app on, and no, got one request all morning. It was a good ride though, 100 bucks. And then I came out in the afternoon and spent some time online and didn't get anything until 8:40 at night. Lucked up on this trip. This trip went down to Brickell, Miami, 76 bucks. So I can't complain, because the ROI is there, around $20, $25 an hour. But, man, that's a lot of time out there, right? All right, let's get out of this. Nope, we don't want to do that. Let's go back here. And then yesterday, did something a little different. Didn't start my day until the afternoon. We did have a Panther game in last night. Go Panthers, beat the Vegas Knights. But almost 6 hours. Couple of trips in the morning, in the early afternoon, including one that took me to the Panther game. But I also did 3 trips on Lyft. I'm not going to bring those earnings up, but it was about 45 bucks, and 12 of that was on a 3-ride bonus. So the rides didn't really go anywhere, but I made a run at the bonuses. So I did, 200 for the night between Uber and Lyft, and that brings us up to 321 right now. All right, so we'll come back next Monday, and I'll let you know how the weekend finished out. Looks like it could be good. But as you can see with the time, and that's what's important to me, we're at 17 hours. At $20 an hour, that put me at 340. We're under that. And yes, I know I have another 50, 45 bucks sitting there on Lyft, but that's a separate time frame. So we'll see how that works out. Okay. Let's get into the markets a little bit. I know I don't have a lot of traders on here. And I'm going to make a change with that too. My small account challenge, instead of coming on every other day or every week, I'm just going to do it month by month. Those videos aren't getting a lot of views. So I guess a lot of people aren't interested in small money growing an account. They only like watching the big money, you know, where the guys come on and try to sell you a program. And, you know, they're doing $10,000 a day, $12,000 a day, win or lose. So we won't get into that. But as a point of reference, here's a daily chart on SPY. And all the indices have pulled back anywhere from 10 to 15%. We do have an inside bar forming here on SPY. Hopefully, we'll get moving back to the correct side. All right, so Uber on the daily chart, still in a downtrend. But what it did do is it filled this gap in here, which is good. But I mean, they're sliding. Uber's stock price is down. When we look at it, and we'll go from the beginning, you know, here is, what is this? Yeah, when they first IPO'd, I mean, they're under their initial public offering price. This was the big swing down when the pandemic started. So I don't know what's going on with Uber, but I can tell you this, their earnings are going to be down. And if their earnings are more than 30 cents down in the negative per share, look for Uber to really come down here and test this 28.32 level. So me, I'm not buying yet. Lyft is in the kind of the same boat. Lyft is getting ready to close a gap that they opened up back here on November of 2020. What's important about these gaps is, right, they always fill. It might not fill the next day, the next week, the next month, but they always fill. They have earnings also February 8th. The Uber earnings are February 9th. They're projecting 8 cents, plus 8 cents per share. If this number comes under that, expect Lyft to drop down here into this $27, $28 range. These are good places to pick up shares if you're into owning stock. But I got a feeling all of these people are in a little bit of trouble. If you're out here taking rides, you kind of know what's going on there. You can see by the amount of rides you're getting. The other thing, too, is look at your airport queues. Your airport queues are just overloaded, again, with XLs and things of that nature. DoorDash, which I don't buy DoorDash. I don't use DoorDash. But with people starting to get back to work, going back to the office, in other words, they're out of the house, DoorDash has been taking a big hit also. So I don't know where this is going to lead for a lot of these companies. But like DoorDash, they're at their all-time low. They just hit their all-time low, 92.69 the other day. Well, no, I'm sorry, this morning. So not a good sign for the gig apps. I only mention it because when we look at rideshare, if they're not making money, if nobody's investing in them, that probably means nobody's using them. And if they're not being used at the rate they were prior to the pandemic, you got to pivot. You got to make the adjustment. DoorDash earnings are expected to lose 19 cents. It's mid-February that'll come out. We'll keep an eye on that. So anyway, that's where we're at. Earnings, I mean, I'd really like to know how you guys are doing out there. Also, if you like the second video up here, the little bit of music playing in the background, like I said, this video is more for me, but I do like to keep y'all informed and let you know where I'm at. So with that, we're going to call it a day, and we'll see you next week. Peace out.